It's one artist that I want to ask you about. I don't know if you got any ties to, but I don't really see too many people talk about him in interviews, not too many documentaries. I don't think he went from the Magnolia, but his name was Sporty T. I used to like some of his music. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with, like, do you have any like stories about Sporty T? Any interactions with him?
Yeah, I remember us.
You
Sporty
started
T
laughing.
yeah, because we had called Sporty T slipping one time at a concert at the UNO Arena. Um, we got on the elevator. He was already on the elevator. I guess he was coming out. We got on the elevator, and he was in the elevator, and he was shocked that he had saw that he was dissing Cash Money at one time.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah. With Big Boy, it was on
Right. And so, but I just wanted to know, hey, don't get comfortable back here. But other than that, like I ain't never seen somebody to take a hit or go.
Damn, man, that's crazy, man. And you said no nightmares, sober mind, just doing.
Bro, I've never. Some people say, man, something wrong with him, but I am fine, perfectly fine. You know, I can't help it if people buy into that. You know, you're gonna have a nightmare. You're gonna have. I don't buy into that. I learned this: when you think of something or you accept certain stuff, then you're gonna start dreaming and thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like it's been times like I've been looking at a CEO or having a talk with her. When I go to sleep, I dream about her.
Yeah.
It's like be rich in my dream. Like I have dreams, people be chasing me in my dreams, and I can't never get away from it. I can't. They be right chasing me, you know. But I never dream about someone.
You did something too.
Now I had these dreams. Let me tell you what kind of dreams I had, and bro, it never fails. I might have a dream about Stone, Killer Stone, like when we was on the streets, or Black and Mo, and Maurice. When I wake up, I tell myself, so I say, man, I just had a dream about one of my homies that's dead. I said, why would I call somebody gonna be either dead or somebody gonna be killed soon? And it never fails. Every time I have a dream about somebody that's already dead, but in my dream like they're alive and we having fun or whatever, when I come about that dream and I call home or something, somebody just got killed or I'll get killed a few days later, somebody gonna get killed. Every time I have a dream, that happens.
Now, and the people getting killed, are they tied to the people you dreaming about? Or
No.
just randomly just...
It just means like one of my homies or somebody I know,
Yeah.
or maybe a family or somebody that died. It's just whenever I dream about somebody that's dead already, but it's like they're alive in my dream,
Yeah.
somebody really died. Every time.
Man, what's your... You name so many different people, like, especially like when you was incarcerated, like talking about incarcerated from juvenile jail on up, that are either deceased now or incarcerated. Like, man, what's your... I mean, being tied to being a stepper, all of that. Like, what's your view on death, man? Like, what do you think about death?
It's promised to all of us. Inshallah, I pray I go to paradise when I die. So that's why when we stop, when I pray, it's important to me. But I welcome it. You know, I used to always say this though. When I used to be people, I was like, I don't want to die first. That's what you mean? I ain't gonna be able to get no get back. So if somebody kill me, it's over with. Because nobody's gonna retaliate how you will. But I'm a Muslim, so I believe I'm going to paradise. And I believe I'm going to touch the hellfire for my sins I've committed ever since because once you become Muslim, all your sins are forgiven. Now, while you're Muslim and you accumulate sins, then you're going to be held accountable for that. But I'm not scared of that. No, not at all.
I'm saying, man, you came up in New Orleans, man, especially the Magnolia. It's a lot of people from that area that not only street stars, but a lot of popular rappers. Did you have any relationships with any of the artists coming up in the Magnolia?
Mm-hmm. Me and Julian went to elementary school together. We used to have challenges who would get the best Reeboks, the Reeboks first, or something that one of us didn't have. We used to go at it with the girls, you know. Julie was, you know, coming up cool guy. Turk. Magnolia Slim was the first rapper who everybody knows as Soulja Slim was the first rapper to put my name in the song.
Put your name in the song. Yeah.
On that powder bag.
Yeah. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
So you was cool with a lot of different artists?
Yeah, because I've always been people's person. Even though I was getting money, shooting my gun, wilding, I never looked down on nobody. I feel like What's up, homie? You know, you from the hood. You know, y'all cool.
No, for sure. Man, it's one artist that I want to ask you about. I don't know if you got any ties to, but I don't really see too many people talk about him in interviews, not too many documentaries. I don't think he wasn't from the Magnolia, but his name was Sporty T. I used to like some of his music. Are you familiar with, like, do you have any like stories about Sporty T? Any interactions with him?
Yeah, I remember us.
You started laughing.
Yeah, because we had caught Sporty T slipping one time at a concert at the UNO Arena. We got on the elevator. He was already on the elevator. I guess he was coming out. We got on the elevator, and he was in the elevator, and he was shocked that he had saw because he was dissing Cash Money at one time.
Oh yeah, with Big Boy.
Right. And so, but we saw him, but we didn't do that to him because I was like, man, I'm out here in these streets. I ain't got time, you know. But y'all that rap stuff, you know. But we had caught him in there. He didn't back down or nothing, but he didn't say nothing. He was just quiet, like he just there. Cause we was deep, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, nobody don't want to get jumped and you gotta perform and bust him up and nothing. But he ain't back down, he just, you know, stayed, mind his business. We was on the elevator and we got off and went our way. Cause we had other beat, we had real street beat. We ain't had time for that stuff they had going on.
Yeah. Was that your only interaction with him, or did he have a reputation in New Orleans that you were aware of? I know he used to rap Gangsta. I saw him on the cover with the chopper and all of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I don't know him personally. So I can't speak on, you know.
No, I feel you. Man, I want to ask you about fashion. You know, in some of your interviews, you don't talk about like the Bally's, Polo, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Like, what were some of your favorite brands, man, around that time before you went away, like that y'all was rocking? Because New Orleans people, man, although it's a small city, like the pictures I see from back then of you, OG, Booby Black, Killer Stone, so on and so forth, like, y'all was fly. Got the Jordans, all of that, bro. Talk about that.
You know, we had that phase with the ballet animals. A lot of people like the Marinas, the Mirage. Any kind of ballet shoes was on point. We had the Gucci's at one time. You know, you could never go wrong with the Jordans. You know, I never wore Air Force Ones. I was doing Air Force One guy back then. My main thing too was the Reeboks, the Soldier Reeds. They were cheap, and then you could just wear with anything, you know. But Ballets, Jordans. I wasn't too much of a Nike guy. I had a few pair of Nikes, but I was mainly on Reebok, right? Now let me tell you what's crazy. And I tell you, when I was in the Fed, how I started studied up on stuff, right? I had gave all my Nikes away, right? Because I looked in the dictionary, and you know that the Swiss and the sign, you know, that was the thing. The Greek god used to worship that for speed back in the day. So I was like, this sign they used to worship for speed back then. Guys on the tennis shoe, and I was on some religious stuff. So I was like, man, I ain't wearing Nikes no more.
You got some Nikes on right now?
Yeah. So I was like,
yeah.
So I wrestled with that. I was like, okay, they use it for that, but they use it for this, you know. And then you know, in prison, and you get into all this history, and you get into all this type of stuff, and you be like, so people who the race who sprint, they wear Nikes, you know. So you go to thinking, well, they got that on because they thinking they gonna be faster, you know. So. Yeah, man, I had some, you know, in the Fed, it'd be hard to get certain shoes, so I had some nice Air Max, and some of them dunk shoes. I give them away, man. And then, like, a year or so later, I got back on the Nikes, you know. But we go to in prison, bro. Yeah, people, like, I had went a year without eating chicken, and drinking soda, you know, eating beef, so.
You was disciplined.
Yeah, you know, you go to them, because you ain't got nothing to do in jail. You know I'm going to do this. You know I'm going to do this. Let me try it. Just do different things in prison. But,
so you some Nikes in
damn Nike, yeah, you looked it up, that Swiss sign, I think the Greek gods, they used to worship that at speed. So I'm like, well, Nike, they put that on their shoe, gonna be fast, they workers.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I ain't rocking this, you know.
Nah.
I'm back on the team, you know.